not?
Yeah, sir.
And PPT is visible or not?
Yes, sir. It is visible and moving also.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon to all professionals. Today, I will discuss about the restructuring of SME bank loans compared to the base resolution plan. Actually, as I told earlier also, the insolvency professional should have knowledge not only on the code or rules or regulation or judicial pronouncement, but also the financial aspect and how to run the company and what is the production department activities or what are the finance department activities or whatever the marketing department activities or human resources department activities. All departmental activities also should be familiar. Not only that one, the sectorial knowledge, whether it is a pharma or a real estate or power sector, etc., etc. Here, in the bank, particularly before filing the application under Section 7, there are separate resolution processes there to resolve that particular non-performing asset or the company which is facing the financial distress. Bankers, first they will issue soft notice that is called soft recovery. We will issue the notice, we will interact with the borrower, and we will tell the borrower the implication of once the loan is not paid, what is the implication? And not only that one, if at all he is interested for compromise or one-time settlement, etc., that also we will explore. And finally, the hard recovery will start. The hard recovery is nothing but initiation of a SURFACE 2002 or the filing of the case with the debt recovery tribunal or with particularly the insolvency and bankruptcy code 2016 under section 7. All these things we will explore the possibility. But even Reserve Bank of India also, from time to time, they are issuing circulars. MSMEs, they are the backbone of the economy. Today, MSMEs, they are contributing a lot to the Indian economy. The GST collections are more from the MSME to the government. The export revenue, particularly foreign exchange revenue, is generated through MSME. And regional imbalances. Today, all states, the people are comfortable and living in their states to some extent. That is on account of MSME. They are creating a lot of employment opportunities. Thereby, regional imbalances are also reduced. And today, the biggest problem is the gross domestic product. Once the domestic product is increased, then the country's rating will also increase. This also supported or contributed by the MSME. All these things are there. But still, some of the MSMEs, they are facing a lot of a problem. Liquidity problem is there. Next, whatever the data is there, sometimes it is not collectible. And they are competing with other big industries. And the price competition is there, or price war is also there. And bankers, whenever they are giving loans, they will always insist for additional security, like that is a collateral security. And the MSME also, particularly technology implementation, that is also not up to the mark. Why? Because it requires more capital expenditure, that is capex. All these things are there. Still, the country is depending on our bank on the MSME only. Even a China economy also, Chinese economy, it is flourished, or the country is strong on account of MSME only. That's why in India, the Ministry of the Government of India initiated to start one ministry, that is MSME ministry. States are also, they have started. District industries are there, and MSME schemes are there. Or small industries development bank of India, that is initiated for the proper growth of the MSME. And the 1/4/2025 onwards, the limits, particularly MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises, the limits are also enhanced. The medium enterprises limit is now 125 crores plant and machinery, and 500 crores turnover comes under the MSME. The Udyam portal is also introduced. Whatever the sales or turnover is increasing or decreasing, automatically from ROC website to Udyam, it is automatically updated. And the Ministry for MSME is also there. And MSME sector, particularly the banks are also recognized as a priority sector lending. And priority sector lending, what are the benefits to the MSME? Means a lower rate of interest, lower margin. Margin means when the bank is sanctioned a loan, they will ask the MSME to contribute their share less, and the bank loan is more. And collateral security also. The collateral security also for a non-MSME, MSME collateral security, the Reserve Bank of India guidelines are also not insisting more collateral, even 50% is also enough. And all these facilities or concessions or leverages are given to the MSME. And that's why even in IBC also, one more product was introduced exclusively for MSME, that is a pre-packed insolvency resolution process also. That's why tomorrow also I will discuss about what is the base resolution plan, how to prepare the base resolution plan. Today, honestly speaking, few people are aware of the base resolution plan, or most of the people, they may not aware how to prepare the base resolution plan. Once the base resolution plan is prepared and the financial creditor is accepted, then the PPIRP, the process will start. All these things are there in the country to develop, to safeguard the backbone of the country, that is MSME sector. So here, the Reserve Bank of India, every time, every 6 months, they are sending letters to the banks. If any struggled MSMEs are there, restructure that one. Thereby, the survival of MSME is possible. If a MSMEs or corporates are struggled and closed, then it is a problem to the country also. So that's why the MSME sector is an important one. So the restructuring, the banks has to restructure. If the banks are restructuring the loans, then automatically some of the MSMEs filing of the cases, either DRT or SURFACE or IBC, the situation will not arise. Even on account of pandemic COVID-19, government also given emergency loan. whatever the total outstandings of the MSME loans with the bank, straight away give 20% additional amount. Don't take any collateral, only document you take, and no calculation, nothing. Whatever the existing limits are there, straight away 20%. If at all failed, the government is ready to pay the amount through trust. They have created trust also. And during pandemic also, number of MSMEs are struggled like anything on account of a lockdown or shutdown. Now, the same situation slowly the increasing on account of a geopolitical war, on account of Iran or the particularly Israel or USA, and the world economy is also not up to the mark. So thereby, the ultimate sufferers are the MSME one. So to overcome this one, then we have to do something. That's why the Reserve Bank of India also instructed all the particular banks do the restructure, or if at all any issue is there, PPIRP. Even PPIRP number of cases are not filed in the NCLT. Why? The reason is also there. The application to be submitted by the corporate data under section 10 only, not by 7 or 8 and 9, 7 financial criteria, 8 and 9 operational criteria. There is no scope. Only the corporate data has to file the application under the PPIRP. Once the corporate data is not aware, this product is there, PPIRP product, how he will file? Bankers are elected. Operational criteria, they are not aware. And the corporate data only they has to file. Once he has to file means what is a base resolution? What is a PPIRP? That's why in the coming days, the PPIRP definitely be increased. There is no other alternative. And if at all the government or Reserve Bank of India taken some initiative to popularize the product of a PPIRP, then only the PPIRP cases are increased. Otherwise, most of the PPIRP is filed under CIRP. Eligible PPIRP cases are filed in CIRP, which is a loss to the MSME sector in the country. So that's why first today I will discuss about why the banks are restructuring the existing loans. If the loan is turned into bad, then they will do the restructuring. In the macro view, restructuring is whatever the existing loans are there, the period will increase. If at all 5 years are there, they will increase the loan, term loan 5, 7 or 10 or depending upon the cash flows. And working capital loan. Working capital loans will be converted into term loan. Not only that one, particularly even additional working capital also banks are providing. The rate of interest they will reduce. And the interest in the working capital loan, they will convert into working capital term loan. All these facilities are there. But most of the MSMEs are also not aware. Being a professional, in addition to the IP also, you can provide the service to the particular the MSME sector to complete the process of the restructuring of the bank loans. Once you listen this class, definitely you will get some idea or fair idea how to restructure the loan. And it is not a rocket science, it is a simple science. Once you are a habit of restructuring, then the fee-based, in addition to IP also, you will get some reasonable consultancy service fees through restructuring of SME loans also. To popularize the PPIRP, most IPs are to be visited to the SMA clusters. SMA clusters are located in each and every town and metros also. Each cluster, the 200 to 250 companies are there, industries are there. Take for example, Balanagar in Hyderabad, Katedan, Nacharam, GD Metla. So many MSME clusters are there. In the cluster, one association office is there. For all these companies, they formed one association. They elected one president, and every month they used to meet in the association, and they will discuss with their issues, whether it is a pollution or the water problem to the industries, or the electricity problem to the industries, or any GST, goods service tax issues, all these things they will discuss. They will discuss. And accordingly, they will brought to the notice of the government. In the same meeting, if at all you highlight, sir, this is a PPIRP product. If at all any companies are facing problem, they are eligible to file an application with the NCLT through the financial creditor with the help of a resolution professional. Even pre-resolution, before initiation also, the resolution professional has to do something. Once you encourage the people, definitely the number of cases will increase. Otherwise, once the corporate debtor is not aware of the product of IBC, how it will increase? So that's why tomorrow I will discuss about the restructuring and the base resolution plan. And today I will discuss about restructuring, how the restructuring is happening. When compared to the base resolution plan, honestly speaking, base resolution plan is also like a restructuring of loans. And some additional formalities are there in the base resolution plan. All these things I will discuss up to 5 o'clock. As usual, 3:30, we will take some 10 minutes break for tea. Sir, are you getting my point, what I am telling, sir? Any response is there, sir? Any response?
Yes,
My
sir.
voice is audible, sir?
Yeah, it's audible, sir.
Sir. Okay. Now I will discuss in detail about the restructuring, particularly the MSME. In the coming days, the restructuring proposals, PPIRP, definitely lot of demand will be there. That's why I have chosen this topic, and I want to enlighten the resolution professions in this area also.
Sir,
Restructuring.
can you tell, so please, I have one question. Can you please tell me more about SME cluster?
SME cluster. Sir, here, sir, everybody is always thinking about I'm not getting CARP cases, I am not getting liquidation cases. NCLT is not giving, and the banks are also not empaneled, or if empaneled, only the recommendation. So many various, the various the information or rumors they are floating. Sir, even the IBC also demand is there. The demand, because whatever the opportunities are there, the opportunities are not visible, sir. It is invisible. We have to search, we have to scout, we have to scan, we have to grab the opportunity and convert into profession. So here you are asking about clusters. Sir, how it is an opportunity to me? Being a professional, that too being a banker, I know the clusters. Even in Hyderabad, 8 clusters are there. Cluster means small, medium enterprises clusters. Nacharam, one cluster is there. In that cluster, nearly 125 companies are there. Industries, either pharma or cardboard boxes or whatever industries are there, 125 is there. Most of them are comes under SME, that too corporate zone. Okay. These clusters, 125 promoters are there, or directors are there, or chairmen are there. So the production departments are located in clusters and administrative departments are also located in clusters. Okay. Every 2 years or 3 years, they will elect one president to resolve their problems. Normally, in the MSME clusters, the problems will be water may not be available because industries require continuous water, may not be required, may not be available. Due to power cut, the government is giving less importance to the clusters and they are giving more importance to the residents. Thereby, the clusters industries are facing a power cut problem. Third one is GST. Goods service tax issues are there. Some of them are filed with the appellate authority like that. Not only that one, particularly the raw material or infrastructure like roads, all these things, training centers, research, the institutions. That's why in Balanagar also, the government of India research institutions are also located in clusters. Okay, that is a cluster. Now the cluster, the 125 companies, they are having one association office, the MSME Cluster Association. In that association, every month or every 15 days or every 10 days or depending upon their need, 125 people, they will assemble, they will conduct some meetings. In that meetings, they will discuss about their problems, whether it is a water related problem or pollution related problem or waste management, how to dispose the waste or the power cut problem or the GST issues with the government, and they will discuss and they will resolve, they will prepare that resolutions in the meeting and they will take up with the concerned state government, concerned ministers, industries minister. Sir, we are from clusters. President will meet, and these issues are there from the government side. Please resolve. So, anyhow, they are meeting frequently. In one meeting, you request the president, sir, one PPIRP is there, pre-packed insolvency resolution process. Immediately, the answer will, the question will come. What is the PPIRP, sir? Then you have to tell in local language or easy to understand. Sir, if at all any industries are facing any problem, liquidity or the lack of finance and other things, and some of them are not in a position to pay the amount to the bankers, and the bankers, they will convert into non-performing asset and they will start the various resolution mechanism, either surface 2002, notice and sell the property, or filing the case with the debt recovery tribunal, or now they are doing that insolvency and bankruptcy code 2016, they will file the application. So before the symptoms are there, you have to take one the resolution profession, and he will study, and he will prepare the base resolution plan, sit with you as well as with the bankers, and whatever the PPIRP procedural part is there, whether it is positive with the board or shareholders consent, or whatever the process is there, then complete that one. If financial creditor is accepted the base resolution plan, then the application to be filed with the NCLT. NCLT will appoint, confirm the RP, and the COC is there. The directors will continue as it is, no problem. And overall supervision by the RP as well as COC is there to reduce that stress of the particular company. And once this is not they used by the particular MSME promoters, bank will straight away file with the corporate insolvency resolution process. Thereby, the directors will remove the powers of the directors will remove. The company is under control of RP with COC as a board of directors. Like that, you tell them definitely 100% the chances are bright for you to get the opportunity. Sir, sometimes you have to sell the products. Even though consultants are also, they are selling the products, financial products. Even IBC, whatever the CIRP, whatever the PPIRP, whatever the liquidation, whatever the voluntary liquidation, whatever the personal guarantor to corporate debtor or IIRP, individual insolvency resolution process, you have to sell the product. Sometimes I'm also giving particularly services to the corporate debtor also. Sir, I want to participate in the resolution plan. Is it possible? Some of the corporate debtor, even though they are MSME, they may not aware whether they are eligible to participate unless until the resolution professional informs. Because the 29A disqualification, they accept that particular defaulter with the bank, then other conditions, if not there, he is eligible for participation in this resolution plan. Not only that one, even in the liquidation also, compromise is also there. All these things, if at all you tell, then corporate debtor is happy and he will give the reasonable professional fees also. Because most of the corporate debtors, they are not aware of this one. Not only that one, even operational creditor also. One day I visited to Rajamandri in Andhra Pradesh, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. They have informed all the chapter chairmen, go to each and every place, meet the Chamber of Commerce people, and enlighten them on IBC code. So they told that the Rajamandri people, they invited me. And Mr. Prasad, you have to tell about IBC to the Chamber of Commerce members, all industries, all traders, they will come. They wish to know about IBC. And my institute also told to disseminate this information to the Chamber of Commerce. Then I visited, and 2 hours in local language, Telugu language, I have briefed about the IBC. After meeting is over, 4 operational creditor, not for 5 operational creditor, they came to me and they asked, sir, I have supplied paddy, PADDY paddy to one rice mill, big rice mill, that is called a Lalita rice mill. I have supplied paddy of 1.5 crore. He promised to pay within 30 days. Even after 6 months also he has not paid. Is there any possibility to file an application under IBC? Immediately, that is possible, sir. Like 5 people, they have supplied rice, paddy, PADDY paddy to the rice mills. And immediately, they are ready to pay fees also. At that moment, the chairman of that particular chartered accountant, he requested me, Sir, for this any qualification is required? No, sir. Even IP qualification is also required, not required. You take that particular eight application, the form, and send the demand notice to the Lalita Rice Mill. And if it are not paid within 10 days, then that notice, invoice, transport document, and whatever the correspondence is there, all these things they staple it, and the 2000 fees at that time, that operational credit fees, and go to the Andhra Pradesh NCLT that is located at Hyderabad, submit that one, and they will they send the notice to the concerned people also. Immediately, once the applications are filed under IBC, their legal advocate informed to the letter explain, sir, this is a dangerous, sir. Now you have to come out from your registered office. You should not sit also. The company will be managed by the resolution professional with the help of financial creditor, that is called COC. It is better to pay now. Immediately, all five people, whether you believe it or not, all five people, they got that amount within a week or so. And for each and every notice to be issued and filed with the NCLT Hyderabad, the chartered accountant of the particular chairman of that particular chapter, he charged 40,000 per. So 40,000 into five people, 2 lakhs. So here opportunities are available. We have to grab, we have to avail the opportunity. Okay. Sir, now you got the what is meant by cluster and other things. Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now coming to the bank loan restructuring. Bank loan restructuring is essentially a financial rearrangement of the existing debt. Whatever the total, suppose one company is there, they have taken term loan for 3 years, and working capital limit 20 crores, and a term loan is 10 crores. Now the company is facing some problem, liquidity problem, or the debtors are not paid, or some competition in the market, or the price war, all these things are there. Immediately, the company to be approached to the bank. Sir, this is a problem. Kindly increase the repayment period of term loan from 5 years to 10 years. Second one is whatever the working capital you have given, another 10% funding is required. For that, I am giving security. Or whatever the interest on working capital loan is there, convert into working capital term loan. Or the company is facing some problems, sir. Why can't you give concession instead of a quarterly compound, that yearly compound interest, or some restructuring, they will waive the interest also. So depends upon the company, the banks are doing, and they will follow the credit policy of the bank as well as the Reserve Bank of India also. So that's why once you know the restructuring of the bank loans, the base resolution plan is a cakewalk for you. The borrower legal entity remains unaffected. Banker borrower, that legal entity not unaffected and not affected. Borrower is borrower, banker is banker. Instead of loans, whatever the loans are there, loans period will increase, additional loan will they provide, or not only that one, even interest portion, they will open separate account, and instead of quarterly monthly compound, they will do the yearly compound. All these things depend upon the stress of the company. The borrower legal entity remains unaffected. Lenders agreed, they are agreeing to provide relief. They will give the relief. Sir, today one industry they started means lifelong, it is not a cakewalk for them. Ups and downs are there. On account of the geopolitical war of Israel and Iran, number of companies are struggled a lot. Transport is one of the important one. On account of rising of the diesel or petrol or whatever the lubricants and other things are there, then that is a lifeline. Because raw material to be transported, final goods are also to transport. Raw material transported from buyer to the seller to company, and the final product from company to the market. The transport cost increase means the profit element decrease. Some companies they incur loss also. So here the borrower legal entity remains unaffected. Borrower is the corporate data, financial creditor is a financial creditor. The lenders agree to provide relief. Okay, you are unable to pay installment. I have fixed per month 10 lakhs. Okay, I am raising the period and now 5 lakhs. Then automatically some comfort will be there for the company proprietor. Then he will run the company. The accounts will not turn into non-performing asset. Extension of repayment period. Sir, earlier you have given term loan for 3 years. Why not for 8 years? Because now the company is facing some problem. And decrease the installment, increase the period, reduction in interest rate. Sir, this is an MSME. And the government is also giving a lot of support. Sir, for MSME concession you give me, sir, or some interest waive, that is a provision is also there. There is a bank, it depends upon the case by case. It is not uniform across all the loans. Moratorium on principal payment. Sir, now I'm paying the amount. You gave me 6 months time because now the war is stopped. Now I have to recoup the particular my sales and other things. Next 6 months I don't pay, sir, installment. After that, whatever the difference is there, that also I will pay. These are the various facilities that are offered by the bank in case of restructuring. Moratorium period, principal repayment, conversion of debt into equity. Earlier, CDR is there, corporate debt, SDR is there. Now there is no, but in still some of the NBFCs are also, they are converting the debt into equity if the equity is trading in the secondary market. Once the loan is not paid, they will sell the equity and appropriate the loan. Additional funding. Additional funding also they will give. And a sustainable, unsustainable debt bifurcation. So in this particular debt also, some continuously that is required, some are not required. And all these things they will bifurcate. It is governed by primarily RBI regulation and intra-creditor arrangements. RBI don't sit. RMC, they will give instruction to the bank. Sir, we have to do. MSME is a backbone. It is a lifeline of the country. If MSME collapses, unemployment will increase, GDP decreases, forex reserves will decrease, and regional imbalances, and people are demotivated, and the buying power of the people will also reduce, our consumption power of the people will also reduce. So they will send the letters to the bank, request the bank, or sometimes order the bank on behalf of Government of India do the restructure. So RBI and intercreditor agreement, base resolution plan under PPIRP. The base resolution plan is a statutory insolvency resolution proposal prepared by the corporate data before commencement of the PPIR and submitted to the committee through the resolution process. So here also the companies are facing problem. This company to be turned into healthy company. For that also, in IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, one more variant, one more product, the Government of India introduced that is pre-packed insolvency. Here also, base resolution, sir, the company is in problem. Once the problem is not resolved by the financial creditor or with the support of operational creditor, I am helpless. And whatever the loan is there, 100% I will pay. For that also security is also there. Security is also there. Please convert the term loan. Instead of 5 years repayment, you put it as a 10 years. And instead of a monthly compound, put it in simple interest. And working capital loan you have given, thanks for that. But you give additional 10% working capital to smooth the sailing of the company. All these things are put in the base resolution plan that is to be prepared by the IRP and submitted to the financial creditor. Once the financial creditor given the green signal, then whatever the process, whatever the steps in PPIRP is there, that is to be followed by the IRP. It contains financial proposal to the creditors, treatment of operational creditor. In that particular base resolution plan of a PPIRP, financial proposals to the creditor. Sir, I have taken from State Bank of India this much amount. I have taken this much amount from the Punjab National Bank. And the Punjab National Bank, earlier they have given loan for 3 years. So request for 5 years. And the installment to be reduced. And operational creditors, definitely I will pay, sir. They have provided the raw material. They have provided the stock and all these things. And management and control arrangement. So actually, sir, here in the base resolution plan also, the company is under control of the corporate data. 100% that is the best system. Why it is a best system? He knows the suppliers, he knows the customers, he knows the staff, he knows the process, he knows what are the problems that are arising during production. He knows how to resolve. He knows how to manage the particularly key managerial person. He knows if at all any shortfall money is there, how to get the money. He knows the market. He knows the export orders. He knows who is the services providers like electricity. He knows if water problems are there. He knows how to dispose of the particular the pollution areas, waste management, or all these things. Everything, the nuts and bolts of the company knows none other than corporate data. Even though we are talking about the going concern, how many people are handling the company as a CEO of the company? I can count enough fingers. Even though the IP role is going concern. Today, most of the IPs they are thinking that I'm expert in IBC code 250, two sections. I'm expert in CIRP regulation. I'm expert in rules and regulation, judicial process. That is only 30% of the CIRP process. The 70% of the CIRP process is managing the corporate data effectively and efficiently. That's why you should be familiar with the financial management. You should be familiar with the marketing management. You should be familiar with the human resource management. You should be familiar with the production management, etc., etc. Managing the people. Once you have occupied the CEO's position, you should know all these things. Till today, most of the people they are thinking, I'm expert in IBC. Daily, the judicial pronouncements will not come. Daily, you have to run the company. If at all it is a going concern. The problems will arise. Marketing, the problems will arise from the production. The problems will arise from the finance. The problems will arise from the human resources. Sir, shortage of staff is there. Sir, that product discount is asking. Sir, here raw material is not there, sir. Sir, the finance department, they will tell, sir, this particular the purchasing of raw material amount is not there. Only 30% of the law or code. Remaining 70%, 100% I am telling that he should run the company. Then only he will be called as a resolution professional. Some of the people they are telling, is it my responsibility? In that case, you are the particularly you have to run the company as a going concern with the maximization. The preamble of the IBC tells it should continue as a going concern and value maximization. All these things are spelled out. And the management control sources of funds. In the base resolution plan, if at all you prepared for a PPIRP, how he will get the funds? Okay, I'm doing the particular resolution plan, I will approve. What is the source of from where you are getting all these things? And implementation schedule. Next 3 months, how you will increase the performance of the company by way of sales, by reducing the cost to repay the loan. And monitoring mechanism. Okay. The COC, RP, they are not running the company. They are oversee the company once the corporate data is handling the company. Avoidance transaction disclosures. Whatever the PUF transactions are there, once you are prepared the base result, you have to highlight. Compliance with the 3254 KK of the PPIRP regulation, all these things you have to. After approved by the Committee of Creditors and NCLT, it becomes a binding of all stakeholders. That is in PPIRP. First, I will discuss about the difference between a restructuring and the base resolution plan. Honestly speaking, it is an interesting one. Once you are familiarized with the managerial skills and IBC code, if the blending experience is there, definitely you will become a master in handling the particular the IBC cases. Major documents are involved. Whenever the bank loan restructuring is happening, you have to get the techno-economic viability study. You have to get the techno-economic viability report. The techno-economic viability report gives the economic viability. What is the economic viability? The economic viability means once the company is started or running, continuing, whether the company will generate adequate surplus or not. Once the company is not generating profit, what is the purpose of running the company? Some of the people, last week, Monday, last Sunday, not this Sunday, before Sunday, I have taken one class to the ICMA IPs at a physical class at Hyderabad. In Himayatnagar. Most of the people are having the law knowledge only. They don't have the EBIT. What is meant earnings before interest and tax? No. Financial ratios? No. I told one initially. Once you have taken the CIRP cases, two options are there with you. Whether to continue the company under CIRP or go for liquidation. You have to substantiate. If at all you are continuing in the CIRP and the company is getting some surplus, then CIRP is the best. Once you are continuing CIRP, further losses are increasing, it eaten away the company. Thereby, the stakeholders will not get. So, instead of that, better to go for liquidation. Better to go for liquidation. Suppose the company is there. The company net worth as on date is 100 crores. Now the company is a going concern. Production all are in live, not dismantled. Most of the people they are getting the companies. The no buildings, no machinery is there. That is not suitable for going concern. 100% that is not. If at all the company is a going concern, then you have to decide. Once I have started the company and run the company, whether the company is getting any revenue or not, or surplus or not. Once the company is getting surplus, then continue as a going concern. Otherwise, recommend for liquidation. Recommend for liquidation. Why we recommend for liquidation? Suppose if at all you are running the company, the present value of the company is 100 crores net worth. Every on account of going concern, every month you are incurring loss of 2 crores. So after 1 month, 100 minus 2 crores loss, 98 net worth. Second month, 98 minus 2 crores, 96. Third month, 96 minus 2, 94 months, 94. Like that, the value is deteriorated. On account of you, the value to be appreciated, not to be deteriorated. In that case, it is better to go for liquidation. Most of the people, they have not catched that point. They have not catched that point. So here, the CMA data. The CMA data, particularly the bankers, while hello. Hello. Once the technical evaluation viability report, that is external people they will give. For that they will charge. Once you know the restructuring of loans perfectly, you are able to prepare the techno-economic viability also. Next one is CMA data, credit monitoring arrangement data. Once the banks are giving any loan, whether the borrower is having the repayment capacity or not. Once the techno-economic viability gives some good positive results, once you are running the company or continue the company, then company will get some, the surplus means continue the company. Even through CMA data also, if at all the company is continuing, surplus will be generated and the repayment capacity of the borrower will increase, means you have to continue the company. Projected financial statement. All the projected, but particularly in the restructuring of loans, we will ask, okay, whatever you are asking, convert the term loan from 5 years to 10 years. Okay, I will do it. Working capital, out of working capital, then you are asking interest to be the particularly term loan, I will do it. Additional working capital, I will also do it. Next, whether the projected financial statements are giving any good results to the company or not, let me verify. Once the projected financial statements are giving good results, then the company to be cut. And a cash flow statement, whatever the sources of funds, inflow of funds, outflow of funds, and if a cash flow is good and the company with the cash problems will not arise, then I will continue. I will do the restructuring. Intra-creditor agreement. Once I am doing this one, the intra-creditor existing agreement, how it tells all these things are also doing. Resolution framework document, how I will repay the loan and in how many months or how many years, all these things. Security valuation report. The security valuation report is once the bank is restructuring that one, once the bank is restructuring that one, then once the bank is doing the restructuring one, then they have to provide a value additional security also. Working capital earlier 100 crores means if at all the bank is giving extra 10%, 110 crores for 10 crores, they have to give that one. And a legal due diligence report. Whatever the securities that are offered by the company, that also the banker, when restructuring was happened, that also they will verify. And the forensic audit report. Why the forensic audit report means whether the company is misutilized the earlier loan or not, that is to be verified. And monitoring covenants, how the company to be monitored by the bankers on a quarterly basis or monthly basis or half yearly basis or yearly basis, that also to be given, provided by the particular corporate data to the bankers while restructuring the loan. While restructuring the loan. In case of the base resolution plan to be prepared, affidavit under section 29A. First of all, in the base resolution plan, 29A conditions are except that a loan, particularly loan is defaulted. Other than that, is there any willful defaulter or any imprisonment or insolvent earlier? All these things, checks are also required. For that, affidavit is to be produced by the corporate data, financial information, and a list of creditors. Particularly the corporate data for base resolution plan, for preparation of the base resolution plan, he has to provide the financial creditor and a list of creditors, etc. And the corporate data also, he has to give the valuation report of the company, plant and machinery, or land and building, or the stocks, all are to be provided. Transaction audit report, and he should not do any preferential, undervalued, fraudulent, and extortionate. If at all he has done that one, he is not eligible to submit the base resolution plan and management and implementation. If at all on account of the PPIRP, if the company wants to take any new management or the all these particularly if at all marketing manager or production manager or human resource manager or finance manager, if at all they are taking that also along with the base resolution plan, they have to submit and monitoring committee proposal. So to monitor the performance of the company on a monthly basis by the particular the data by the financial creditor or the committee of creditors or the resolution professional, the monitoring committee proposal, and the sources and funds infusion schedule once the loan is refaced, and how much base resolution plan the banks are going to accept, but how much funds infused by the corporate data once I have approved the base resolution plan, that also he has to produce compliance certificate from Form P12 to NCLT application, any exits. All these things are required in the base resolution plan. Rights of financial creditors under restructuring, under PPIR. Rights of the financial creditor. What are the various rights of the financial creditor? In restructuring, bank restructuring, general restructuring, creditors negotiated terms. Negotiated the terms. Creditors, particularly, they will ask concessions and other things. And a security package may be strengthened. Once the bankers are giving any concession or this one or additional funding, they will ask additional securities also. And additional collateral may be sought, and no statutory moratorium. For moratorium, there is no law, nothing. It depends upon mutual understanding between the corporate debtor and the financial creditor. There is no obligation on the part of the financial creditor also. On the part of the financial creditor, there is no obligation. But the Reserve Bank of India also, they are giving some advice to the bank. Why not do the restructuring? They don't tell you compulsory do the restructuring like that. Being a regulator, they should not talk like that. So if at all any viable proposals are there, do the restructuring. Do the restructuring. Then automatically it helps the economy as a whole. So that's why the creditor all these things. But in case of the PPIR, Committee of Creditor exercise commercial wisdom. So Committee of Creditors particularly, they will decide whether PPIRP is suitable for this company or not. If suitable, they will give the consent letter. Then only the application can be filed by the corporate debtor with NCLT. May be approved or rejected the base resolution plan. The financial creditor may or reject the base resolution. Can invite competing plans. Sometimes the financial creditors, they will ask, no, this is not good. You send the revised plan, competing plan, and enjoy the protection of a moratorium. So the moratorium period, once the PPIRP is there, the PPIRP, the up to 120 days, the moratorium period will continue, not 180 days. And the resolution plans become binding after NCLT approves. So whatever the resolution plan approved by the financial creditors, that is binding, that is to be bind over by the particular financial creditor after NCLT approval. So this is the PPIRP conditions. Role of the corporate data. What is the role of corporate data under the restructuring under the PPIR? Sir, any doubts up to this point of time? Any doubts up to this point of time?
Only in the first one where you stated adequate and inadequate something, I couldn't ask.
Sir?
In the first second slide, I guess so.
Second slide, sir.
Where restructuring when you stated. No, before that, not before that. Yeah. Next. No, sir. Before that, sir. Before 2 slides before, I guess so. No. Before this also. No, before this. I guess before this it is. Yeah. Wait on. No, before this, sir. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, sir. No problem.
Not before this. Yes, sir. Sustainable and unsustainable debt bifurcation. You're
Sir,
doing restructuring.
debt bifurcation. What is a sustainable answer? Sir, if at all debt is given to the borrower, whether that is recoverable or not, recoverable or not. Suppose I take for example, even after restructuring also, the company is not getting the financial creditor view is the company will not get any surplus. Then automatically the debt given by the company not recovered. Once it is recoverable, then it is happy. Once it is not recoverable, there is no fun in doing the restructuring. Once recoverable, they will continue the restructuring. Once it is not recoverable, then unsustainable debt. So once I have given this law on the restructuring, whether the debt will be sustainable continuously or it is better to go for liquidity at the surface or DRT or IBC. Are you getting my point, sir?
Yeah, fine, sir. Because I thought like while doing the restructuring, the bank looks into sustainable or unsustainable bifurcation, like where they have to do some, waiver or kind of thing. Sorry.
Sir, others, sir, others,
Sir,
they can open the audio. Tell me, sir.
sir, in base resolution plan, point number 8, monitoring committee, you written down, sir. Monitoring committee.
Correct.
Who will be the persons, sir?
Sir, monitoring committee, this one you are talking about monitoring.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Monitoring committee
Sir,
proposal.
monitoring committee means
Who?
suppose
Who can be the persons, sir?
the committee of creditors, the operational creditors, the resolution profession.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next, here under PPIRP binding. Okay. Now, in the both cases, the restructuring as well as the base resolution plan, what is the role of the corporate data? The difference between restructuring, bank restructuring, PPIR. Request for restructuring package. Who will ask? The corporate data will ask. In PPIRP, he initiated the PPIRP. Who? The corporate data. And in the bank restructuring, he prepares the projections and the revival package. Sir, whatever these loans are there, you extend the loan period, thereby EMI will reduce, or you give additional working capital, sir. For that, I'm giving this asset like that. And in PPIRP, they will prepare the base resolution. Here in bank restructuring, the corporate debtor will negotiate with the banks. And PPIRP works with the resolution professional and thereafter submit to the financial creditor. Next, in the bank restructuring, the company is under control of the same corporate debtor only. But continues under the debtor in position model, but overall supervision by the committee of creditors as well as the resolution professional in PPIR. And the bank restructuring subject to lender monitoring. Monitoring by the only bank in under restructuring, but in PPIRP, COC and RP oversight this one. Practical illustration. Suppose ABC pharma is there. They have taken a loan of 100 crores term loan. Due to temporary liquidity stress, the bank agreed to extend the tenure from 7 years to 12 years. Thereby, once the loan is increased, the tenure is increased, the EMI, the equated monthly installments will reduce. Once the reduced, then the company is able to pay the EMIs properly. Otherwise, if at all the old 7 years are continued, the EMIs are big, then reduce the interest from 12 to 9%. Even this is not under the control of the branch. It goes to the higher ups. Because that is a long standing company with us. And now the temporary liquidity problem and other issues are there. So they are eligible for restructuring. But the interest cost is also more. That's why instead of a monthly compound at the monthly compound 12%, even that yearly rate of interest 9% is the best. Like that, they will send the proposal to the committee in the bank, a credit committee in the bank. Grant 1 year moratorium. Once the company is in problem, certain time, we should not ask money. Why? Because the company is running under a break-even point where the total revenue is equal to total cost and sanctioned additional working capital. And for this company, normally banks, whatever the existing working capital loans are there, they will give in the restructuring also 10% extra. Why? Because to run the company, working capital is required. Once the working capital is not required, the wheels of the production department, wheels of the manufacturing department will not move. So that's why additional working capital and no insolvency proceedings is initiated. So once the restructuring is happened, then the banks will not file a case with NCLT under IBC. No insolvency proceedings is initiated. But in case of PPIRP, one example, ABC Pharma MSME defaults under crores debt and prepare the base resolution proposal. Payment 70 crores to the financial over 5 years. For that, they have to prepare the base resolution plan. Full payment to operational creditor. I am ready to pay full payment to operational creditor. Rupees 20 crores to promoters contribution. They will bring some 20 crores additional funds to in the company to run the company, and the appointment of a monitoring committee appointment also, and business revival strategy. The business revival strategy. All these things are to be taken into consideration. And the plan is approved by 66% voting share of unrelated financial creditors. The plan is approved, particularly what the base resolution plan is there. Once the plan is prepared and it satisfies the requirement of the financial creditors, that too the percentage is 66. Definitely, it is a good plan. And subsequent by NCLT, thereby becoming binding all the stakeholders. All the stakeholders. So the plan is approved by 66% voting share. Unrelated financial creditors and subsequently by the NCLT, thereby becoming the binding of all stakeholders. And a core distinction. The bank loan structure is a contractual debt modification. Only change in banks restructuring, change in the debt period from period to so period. Earlier 5 years, now 10 years. Rate of interest earlier 12%, now 11%. And earlier working capital is 100 crores, now 110 crores. And earlier there is no moratorium, now 6 months of moratorium. So debt modification mechanism under RBI guidelines. Whereas in basic resolution plan, PPIRP is a statutory insolvency resolution mechanism under a Insolvency Bankruptcy Board Code 2016. So here it is a statutory obligation. There is no statutory obligation. That's why once the statutory obligation is there, or statutory guidelines are there, definitely the MSMEs are to be used that statutory guidelines. So they can demand also. Today, the PPIRP cases are reduced means there is no demand from the corporators. Whenever you are giving that information in the clusters, tell the difference between CIRP and PPIRP. CIRP is a costly one. PPIRP cost less. And it is in creditors' control. But PPIRP is in debtors' control. And the resolution plan to be submitted from the prospect resolution. Here, the base resolution plan to be submitted by the corporate debtor itself. Like that, if you distinguish between the two in a simple and easy understand, then definitely their demand will increase. Everybody is talking that sir, PPIRP cases are not there. Correct? Once the message reaches to the public, then only the PPIRP will increase. Who is the public? The public is none other than the corporate data. Bankers know about the PPIRP, but they are once the request made by the corporate data, then only they will look into. Till such time, they don't look into. They don't look into. And in essence, the restructuring seeks to cure financial stress before outside the insolvency. Once the restructuring has happened, then the company is in safe from the financial creditor point of view. Operational creditor may file loss, no problem. If at all they filed, the restructuring is a waste. Suppose the banker is agreed, but here PPIRP is a safest option, not the restructure. Restructuring bank will do, but operational creditor, he filed an application. Then there is no use of the restructuring made by the financial creditor. So the restructuring seeks to cure the financial stress before outside the insolvency, but a PPIRP seeks Some power cut problem is there, sir. Now it is okay, sir. Now it is okay. My voice is audible, sir. Hello. Hello.
That totally audible, sir.
PPT is also visible. Correct,
Okay,
sir?
sir. Okay, sir.
So the core distinction. The restructuring is a cure financial stress before insolvency. Once the company is going to face the insolvency, first option to the company is meet the financial creditor. Sir, this is a problem. Please do the restructuring. Then PPIRP gives some problems. So once the bankers are agreed voluntarily based on the restructuring proposal submitted by the company. Otherwise, the borrower has to submit the PPIRP proposal. The borrower has to submit the PPIRP. For both these things, your support is very much required. Your support is very much required. So that's why to prepare the restructuring plan, to prepare the base resolution plan, if at all you are masterized, definitely it gives some good results in your profession. Now coming to the difference between restructuring of bank loans and base resolution plan under PPIRP of IBC. Although both bank loan restructuring and base resolution under PPIRP are the mechanisms intended to revive the stressed business. The main objective is to revive the stress. They are differ substantially in terms of legal framework, objectives, and stakeholders, process and consequences. But even though the process and other things are slightly different, but the objective of both is to revive the company. Once one PPIRP under the IBC framework, restructuring is not under any framework. But even Reserve Bank of India also, they are giving suitable directives or instructions to the banks. Why can't you do this one? Once this is increased, definitely the pressure on the companies, CIRPs, will reduce. Comparative analysis. So, governing law. If you see the governing law, particularly bank restructuring law, RBI prudential framework and contractual arrangements are there. But whereas in the particular base resolution plan, insolvency and bankruptcy code, section 54 to 54A to 54P will follow. And nature of a process. It is a out of court restructuring. Normal restructuring is bank and borrower, if they both are agreed the terms of restructuring, it is out of court. But here, formal insolvency process before NCLT. Before NCLT. And initiator. Who will initiate? Borrower and lender jointly. So the borrower and the banker, they will sit and they will finalize the restructuring. But a corporate debtor with the approval of unrelated financial creditors. If at all unrelated financial creditors agreed 60%, 66, then only the base resolution plan will arise. And applicability. Any borrower with stressed assets. Borrower, once the company is facing any liquidity problem or operational issues, then they can meet that particular the company. the financial creditor. Then they have to submit a TEV report or a CMA data or whatever the information that is required by the bankers for completion of this the restructuring. The borrower has to submit. But here the MSME corporate data are shown, particularly in PPIRP, all borrowers are not eligible. Only MSME borrowers are eligible. But in restructuring, SME borrowers, mid corporate borrowers, large scale borrowers, all are eligible. Objective revival by modifying the loan terms and conditions. The loan terms and conditions they will modify. Instead of the loan for 3 years, they will extend for 6 years. Instead of that particular rate of interest, 12%, they may reduce it by 1%, or additional funding, all these things. Revival of the company by modifying the terms and the conditions of the loan, but a resolution of insolvency while retaining the business continuity. Revival of the particular resolution of the insolvency while retaining the business continuity. Business continuously, if at all it is under data's control, then automatically some good results will happen. But overall supervision by the COC as well as the resolution profession. Appointment of profession in the resolution, this one, not mandate. No question of the particularly professional is required. That's why here also, once you are well versed with the base resolution plan, you are eligible to prepare. You are having the skills. You are having the skills, potential skills for preparing the resolution plan. Why? Because the both the base resolution plan and the restructuring of a bank loan, the similarities are more 80% common, 20% may be varying. So that's why even the CIRP cases also, whenever the prospective resolution applicant submits the resolution plans, you have to verify, practice that one, how he is going to revive the company, what are his financials, all are available in the resolution plan. So go through that one, not simply at the end some figure he will give. That figure only people will see. Beyond that, most of the people, they are not looking at that one. How he is, what is the cost, what is the revenue, how is reviving the company in the resolution plans also, that is there. And approval requirement. So, moratorium. Moratorium, no automatic. But moratorium is not there. He may give, he may not give by the financial creditor. Moratorium under section 14 applies. Whatever 120 days are there, that 120 days the moratorium will apply. And lenders, the intercorporate agreement and the RBI norms are also to be followed. And here, 66 voting rate of the unrelated financial creditors are very much required. And binding effect, binding all the participating lenders. Suppose if at all it is a consortium lending, all people to be bind. And binding of stakeholders once approved by the NCLT. And judicial intervention, generally absent in a normal bank restructuring of loan. NCLT approval is mandatory in case of the PPIRP. Haircut to the creditors negotiated among lenders. So haircut means, sir, my company is facing problem. Lot of earlier also I have paid a lot of interest. Now you give me some concession, either in interest or even principal loss. That is called haircut. Here, determined in the resolution plan. Even a haircut also. Suppose a base resolution plan means the total amount I'm paying like that, not like that. But if at all the company is unable to pay some of the debt also, the base resolution plan in the to be reflected. Competitive bidding, no bidding process here. In the restructuring, no bidding process. But in case of the PPIRP, switch challenge mechanism possible. Why? Because if at all the other resolution applicants are submitted, the modified or better resolution plans, then the for a COC or a resolution professional, he will ask the corporate auditor, they are providing this much amount. Are you ready to pay extra? Once you are ready to pay extra, then I will give the company to you. That is called the Swiss challenge method. Next, priority of claims. Based on the contractual arrangements, there is no structured priority of payments in the normal resolution plan. But in case of the particularly this one, waterfall mechanism under IBCs and the timelines, it is a flexible. There is no timelines. No, up to 120 days moratorium, not like that. And 120 days from commencement is the moratorium in PPIRP. Termination of consequences. The account may slip into NPA and CARP. Once, even though restructuring, the borrower is not fulfilled, the terms and the conditions of the loan, definitely the account will turn into non-performing and the CARP. And the PPIRP may terminate or convert into CARP also. Once here also, the PPIRP can be converted into CARP once the corporate debtor is not fulfilled the base resolution plan. A detailed information to be submitted by the borrowing company to the banks or financial institution for restructuring of credit facilities. In the credit facilities, whatever the information that are to be provided by the company, that is corporate data, to the bank, that is financial creditor. So we will take a break for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, again, we will go through this one. Is it okay, sir? Sorry, is it okay for 10 minutes break? Yes. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now I will discuss about the detailed information to be submitted by the borrowing company to the banks or financial institution for restructuring of credit facilities. Once you are getting an idea about this one, then base resolution plan preparation is very easy. So here what my suggestion is practicing this one, particularly restructuring of proposals, and if at all you provide this service to your clients, because most of the are CA or CMA or CS. So once they are developed this particular services to provide these services to their clients, preparation of the base resolution plan is not a problem. Not a problem. And one side, other than insolvency professional or resolution professional, you will get some fee-based income by providing the restructuring of proposals like that. So in the coming days, in the financial system of the country, definitely most of the accounts are to be restructured. This restructuring is not only limited to SME segment. Why I am telling about SME means there is a difference between base resolution and the restructuring of SME. Similarities are more. 80% similarities. Remaining at 20% is a different. That is one thing. But once you are practice this base resolution, the restructuring of loans, definitely you can provide services of restructuring not only to the SME segment, but also mid corporate loan accounts, corporates, and large corporates also. And what type of information they have to submit to the bank or to the financial companies. So restructuring is not only to the banks, even NBFCs are also they are lending. What is that one? Once you acquainted this knowledge, tomorrow anyhow, I will discuss about the base resolution plan. In that, I will discuss in detail about the base resolution plan. Both comparison is 90% similarities are also there. Now, what type of information they have to provide? When the borrowing company faces liquidity constraints, financial stress, business disruption, market downtrends, or project delays, or adverse circumstances, it may approach its bankers or financial institution like NBFCs for restructuring of its credit facility. They have to. There is no otherwise banks will recover that amount through various resolution processes like SURFACE or DRT or NBA, the IBC, etc. Banks are generally require comprehensive information. Whenever they are doing the restructuring of the proposals, they will require comprehensive information to evaluate the viability, whether the unit, if at all I restructured, whether the unit will viable even after restructuring or not viable, they will decide. Of the restructuring in accordance with the applicable regulatory guidelines, even some guidelines are also there in the Reserve Bank of India, by the Reserve Bank of India. Internal credit policies. The credit policy, each and every bank, some credit policy is there. The credit policy also, if you go through how to restructure all these things, they will highlight and accordingly, if you prepare the restructuring proposal, acceptance level of the financial creditor will increase. A comprehensive checklist of information and various documents that are submitted by the particular companies to the bankers for restructuring. Once you understand this one, tomorrow, whatever the base resolution plan I'm going to discuss, that is very easy also. Letter and a request of restructure. Once you require, you means the company requires restructuring. You have to send one letter as well as application or request to the bankers. Sir, my company is facing some problem. I am unable to repay the debt. I am unable to run the particular working capital loan. Please restructure the loans. Please restructure the loans. And what are the circumstances and all these things you narrate in your letter. Sir, this is on account of this problem. And in my company running well, and the cost and the profit is also okay. And in the long run, I'm having so many orders, and definitely I'm able to repay the loan. There is a, and to if you provide additional finance also, for that also, I'm giving some additional security. It is as good as CDR mechanism. Corporate debt restructuring. Earlier, the CDR is there. Only the big corporate they are enjoying. That CDR mechanism on account of introduction of IBC, the CDR mechanism is discontinued. Now the restructuring is continuing. The company should submit formal application requesting restructuring. Very good. Reasons for financial stress. Why your company is facing problem? What is the reason? Whether any raw material problem or data collection or any price or losses are increased or labor unrest is there or demand and supply mismatch is there. Nature of restructuring. What type of restructuring you require? Tell me. Whether you want only term loan. Earlier I have given 5 years repayment program. Now you require for 10 years or 15 years or what? How many years? And working capital. Working capital interest portion also you create one term loan, or the working capital is sufficient or not. If at all that working capital is not sufficient, do you require any additional working capital? Your requirement restructuring sought, that is also to be mentioned in the letter. Amount proposed for restructuring. Total limits, how to restructure by the bank. First you made a request, then whether the bank is going to give or not, that is to be decided by the bank based on the financial statement submitted by you and the details of existing banking arrangements. And other than this bank, do you have any banking arrangement? Have you bought, have you taken in loans or other financial institutions or banks? And expected benefits of the once the restructuring is done, what benefits the company is getting? Inform to your bank through letter. Okay, sir, if you done like this, these are the benefits. Otherwise, the company will face the problem of SURFACE or DRT or IBC. And declaration that all information submitted true and correct. Once the financials are given, that is authenticated by the managing director or who is the responsibility of the company. Second one, along with the restructuring proposal, later you have to give the background of the company. The company background. The company shall provide the name of the company, the SIN number, the register office where it is located, the corporate office where it is located, register office may be located, or the manufacturing or corporate office in different locations may be there. Constitution of the company, whether it is a LLP or company or like that, and the date of incorporation. In case company, what is the date of incorporation? In as per ROC, and the nature of a business. What type of a business the company is doing? Whether it is a plastic manufacturing or power sector or real estate sector or textile or sugar or products manufactured. What type of products the company is manufacturing? And services rendered. If at all the company is not manufacturing, They are providing services. What type of services they are rendering? Industrial classification, whether it is a SME or mid corporate or corporate, that industry, whether the industry is in backward district or whether the company is going to get any subsidies from the government of India or state government, etc., etc. Third, GST registration number the company has to provide. PAN number of the company to be provided. If the company is going to export the goods, what is the import-export guide code that is normally given by the DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade, and the MSME registration. Okay, if at all the company is comes under below 125 crores of plant and machinery and 500 crores of turnover, that is a maximum cap of the enterprises, small medium enterprises. So if at all that is there, Udyam portal registration and group of companies. How many group of companies are there under the same management or associate companies? How many are there? And how many subsidiaries are there or joint venture? All the full data, the background of the company, you have to give along with the letter. Then only the bank will verify and do the restructuring. Details, promoters profile. Because once you are asking or made a request to the company, you have to provide the promoters profile. How many promoters? How many directors are there? What is the key? Who is the key managerial person? KMPs or shareholding pattern of these people and educational qualifications. The educational qualifications of all directors. Suppose if at all it is a chemical company, any chemical experts should be there. Then only the company will run in a beautiful manner. And if at all any IT company is there, if at all every year he is having IT experience, the company will flourish like anything. And if the educational qualification and the domain experience or domain knowledge or the domain related, this one is there or not, the experience, all these things they will take into consideration. And the past business experience and how many companies they have handled earlier and net worth statement, the net worth of the company, the shareholding, the reserves and surplus, undistributed profit if any, minus intangible assets if you deduct for the last 3 years, how the net worth or last 5 years, how the net worth is increasing or decreasing, and personal assets, the directors' personal assets. Why? Because the net worth of the directors are also required. If at all the bank is going to they restructure that one, they will ask the tangible net worth of the directors. Once the tangible net worth of the directors are good, then only the bank will take the guarantee from the directors also. For that, the company and the banks will give one format, that is assets and liabilities of the particular directors. Not only that one, personal liabilities also. So the assets minus liabilities is equal to net worth. Net worth, if negative is there, then they are not correct. They take the guarantee from those people. The liabilities are much more than the assets or income tax returns. Not only the company for the last 3 or 5 years, but also the directors' income tax returns, whether they are properly filing or not, any tax evasion is there or not. Why restructuring of the loan? It is as good as a new loan. That's why in the base resolution plan also, the same similarities are there. Yes, tomorrow I will discuss the base resolution plan and PAN number, particularly the PAN number of the company as well as the PAN number of the directors also. The other card, wherever applicable, particularly the individual author, the directors Aadhaar card numbers are also to be furnished. Not only this one, the management information. So along with that later for restructuring, the management details also required. Organization structure, the managing director, below the managing director, whatever the key managerial persons are there, below that, the production head, the marketing head, the HR head, the finance head, or the research and development, like that, different department and professional management. How many people are there? Qualified people, professional, like a chartered accountant, the cost accountant, the marketing, the legal, all these things, and the internal controls. How the company internal controls are there? How the company is controlling to mitigate the risks in the business affairs, internal controls, whether they are purchasing the product, whether they are doing that tender system, or they are using tender system or not, or while giving the loans to the data, any credit policy is defined or not, KYC guidelines, all these things, internal audit system. How the internal audit system is there, whether the internal audit system is good or not, and internal audit system, any concurrent audit or a continuous audit, who is the head of the audit department, how the internal audit reports are evaluated and rectified, the irregularities pointed out by the internal auditors. And not only that one, they have to comment on ERP implementation, entrepreneurs resource planning software, if at all it is there, how they are implementing, whether they are implemented for all functions like marketing, HR, and production or finance, like that, and MIS reporting. From time to time, the business performance, the operational performance of the company, whether it is a production or marketing or finance, whatever the reports that are generated through the systems which are useful to the management for taking decision, these how what type of reports they are they generating and providing to the management. Not only that one, succession planning. What is a long range planning they are having? Whether they are restricted to one plant or two plant in the coming days, and product the new products introduction, or all these things, employee strength, how many workers are there, how many clerical are there, how many officers are there, how many key managerial persons are there, that how many departments are there, whether the adequate staff is there, all these particulars are to be furnished. Next, complete details of consortium banks. If at all the company is availed a loan from one bank, a group of banks put together, they have provided the loan. How many consortium banks and what is the share in the total loan? Multiple banking arrangement. Some of the companies, they will take working capital from one bank, term loan, one bank, bills discount, another bank guarantees, another bank. That is called multiple banking. If multiple banks are there, the bank, the type of credit facilities they are enjoying, sole banking. Some of the companies, they are with only one bank. That is called sole banking. In the sole banking, whatever the facilities they are using, all these things, lead bank, the consortium. Once the loans are given by different banks, one consortium leader is there. That is called a lead bank. Who is the lead bank for that particular the loan facilities? Member banks. In case of a consortium, how many other banks? What is the shareholding? Financial institution, not only by the banks, even the financial institutions also sometimes they will provide NBFC borrowings, if any, or ECG, external commercial borrowings, ECBs. Some companies, they will borrow funds not only within the country, but also from the other country by way of external commercial borrowings, intercorporate deposits. The corporate deposits are also, if the company is putting some deposit in other companies, intercorporate deposits, that information, and facility wise details. How many loans they have availed? What type of loans? Working capital. How many types? Working capital 1, limit 2, limit 3, Some companies and 3 to 4 limits are they are enjoying working capital loans, and a different the plants they will take working capital differently. Overdraft, other than working capital, any overdraft is there. Today, most of the companies they are availing the credit card also. Credit card companies are also they are giving for a company day-to-day payments. They are issuing their credit cards. That also working capital demand loan. If the company is obtained working capital demand loan also, that also to be mentioned. Packing credit advance. What is meant by packing credit? Once the company is an export company, once the company is an export company, and the banks will give loan exclusively to manufacture the export orders. For each and every export order, separate limits the banks are giving. That is called the particularly packing credit, letter of credit. Sometimes the companies are importing raw material from other countries, importing raw material from other countries. The other countries, how many letters of credit taken, how much limit, what is the share or margin of the particular the company and the corporate return, that also mentioned, and the bank guarantees within the country also, particularly for road constructions and other this one. The normally the government will ask bank guarantees, that also you have to know. Term loans, how many term loans they have given for plant and machinery, or to construct a production department, or administrative buildings, etc., etc., or to import the machinery from other countries. Banks are giving term loans. How many term loans they have availed so far? ECB, external commercial borrowings. The external commercial borrowings are also, how many external ECBs are there to the company, which country, and what is the total exposure, what is the total present amount to be paid. If at all it is a foreign exchange denominated, then the loan to be converted into INR with the prevailing the dollar rupee rates also, buyer's credit. Then for supply of the goods, some companies they are using buyer's credit, foreign currency loans, even packing credit advance also. Banks are giving foreign currency loan. If at all they require dollars, banks will give dollars only, and the repayment will also be done by the dollars. After submission of the particular bills, they will get the dollars. Dollars will appropriate with the loan taken by them and a bill discount. Today, some of the companies they are selling the goods on credit to the debtors. That also there. For each facility provide sanction limit outstanding. When it was sanctioned, what is the present outstanding at the time of application? Drawing power. What is the drawing power of each loan? And what is the security offered by the company while taking that loan, or interest rate, how much bank is charging interest rate, or agreed rate, or penal interest. If at all default is there, what is the additional penal rate, that also mentioned. Repayment schedule. Once the company is taken a term loan, the repayment, whether it is 36 months or 48 months or 60 months like that, and the EMI amount, monthly amount, how much. Not only that one, installment overdue. So the EMIs last 6 months due, or 3 months due, or 1 month due, that is also to be mentioned. And security value, whatever the security that are offered by the company to the bank while taking the loan, what is the present market value of the particular security? They have to assess, they have to take the information from the market, and they have to put date of sanction of each loan, date of renewal. So working capital will be renewed every 1 year. But term loans, normally once they have given one every year, they will reviewed, not renewed. Working capital loan will be renewed. Reasons for financial stress. What is the reason? Why the company is asking for restructuring? What is the company is asking for restructuring? What could be the reason? What could be the reason? All these things they have to mention. Next, whether on account of poor sales or low capacity utilization or cost overruns or working capital shortage or diversion of funds or delayed receivables or inventory accumulation or the poor financial management or the high financial cost and leverage. All these things, poor sales. Why poor sales? Number of competitors are increasing in the market or not, and low capacity utilization. Why the machine capacity is 100%? You are at present using only 20%. Why not 30? Why not 40? Why you are not increasing? Why you are restricted to 20? And the cost of overruns. Earlier, they have given cost estimations very less. Today, they are talking cost of overrun. What is the reason? Why earlier we have not projected like that? And working capital shortage. How much shortage? Diverse of funds and delayed receivables. Funds, if at all, working capital loans are used for acquiring capital machinery or capital assets, then it is a diversification of funds and a delayed receivables. Once the company is given on a loan, the particularly the amount to be paid on prompt date and inventory accumulation. Inventory, we have to maintain a minimum balance. Once the balance of the inventory is exhausted, immediately online that is required. So that's why inventory accumulation and poor financial management. Once the company, the sources and users mismatches their poor financial management. Not only that one, high finance cost and labor issues. That is also the reason. Any doubts, sir, up to this point? Any points to be discussed? Sir, madam. Any points to be discussed? Any points, sir, to be discussed? Okay. External factors. The external factors also you have to mention whether it is an internal factor within the company or external factors. Why the company is sought for restructure? Pandemic reason or economic slowdown. If economic slowdown is there, the reason and how it impacts on the company. Government policy changes from time to time. Government will also change the policies. How it impacts on the company. Import restrictions. Today, on account of import restrictions or export restrictions, some of the companies are facing problem. That's why they are approaching the banks for restructuring. Whether that is the reason or raw material shortages, power shortages, and flood, fire, earthquake, cyclone, all these things, and war, political disturbances, and currency fluctuations. So, the loan default or some liquidity problem or some problems are arised in the financial problems arised in the company means on account of various reasons. The reasons may be the pandemic earlier 2021 or 1920-21 or economic slowdown. Today also on account of geopolitical war, some economic slowdown is also there or government policy change or import restrictions or export restrictions. If the company or suppose you take for example even gold, some of the companies, gold jewelry, the companies are there. They have to import the gold. They have to manufacture the ornaments and send it to the exports. Now the government is also telling on account of forex reserves are decreased, then gold imports are to be restricted like that. People should not consume more gold for the fancy side or ornament sake like that. And a raw material shortage. If at all the company main raw material is not available, how the company will run? And power shortages today, most of the states in the country, they are facing the problem of a power cut. Once the power cut is there, how the company will run? How the company will convert the raw material into finished goods? The wheel of the company will not move. And flood, earth, fire, earthquake, cyclone, all these things are to be taken into consideration. War, political disturbance. Now we have seen that one also. Currency fluctuations. If the dollar it is appreciating and the import raw material is there, it becomes costly. It becomes costly. Next one is chronological events. When the stress was started, the company has to inform to the bankers when the stress was started. What is the key events? What are the main events for the stress? How it impacts on the financial impact? And the corrective actions already taken. What actions the company has taken? And the present status, all these things the company has to inform to their bankers, to the bankers, and the financial statements. They have to produce their financial statement to the company, to the banker. What is the financial statements that they have to submit? 3 to 5 years annual financial statement they have to submit. Balance sheet they have to submit for 3 to 5 years. Profit and loss account 3 to 5 years. Cash flow statement 3 to 5 years. Notes to the accounts. Whatever the statute audit or annexes to the balance sheets are there, that also they have to submit. And the auditor's report that is to be submitted, and the director's report and the annual report. All these things they have to support it to the particular this one. Latest financial provisional balance sheet. Next 3 to 5 years, how you are projecting your sales, how you are projecting your particularly cost, how you are projecting your assets, how you are projecting the liabilities. Trial balance. And the profit and loss account, they have to prepare. Cash flow, they have to prepare. Receivables aging and payables aging. Whatever the debtors are there, whatever the creditors are there, up to 30 days, how many? Up to 30 to 60, 30 to 90, above 90, 180, 180, above 360, above 360 days. Like the aging of the, because too much years is there, particular debtors, that is not recoverable. And the inventory statements. What type of inventory is there in the stores? And the GST return submitted by the company. And the monthly return synopsis that is to be submitted. Bank statements also. And the debtor list and the creditors list also required by the banks whenever they are particularly doing the restructuring work for the companies. And not only that one, the company along with the restructuring proposal, they have to calculate the current ratio, the current assets divided by current liabilities, the debt equity ratio, debt divided by equity, interest coverage ratio, how much surplus funds, how much interest to be paid, or debt service coverage ratio, per month, how many installment to be paid, total amount, divided per month, how much surplus, whether adequate surplus is available to pay the installment of the bank with interest. EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax and depreciation, amortization, calculation, and the gross profit to sales ratio. So the gross profit divided by sales ratio or net profit to sales ratio, whether it is increasing trend or decreasing trend, or return on capital employed, or return on equity, and not only that one, inventory turnover ratio. So inventory divided by the sales, inventory turnover ratio. If at all the number of turns are increasing, then automatically profit will increase. and a debt or turnover ratio, and a greater turnover ratio, and working capital cycle like that. Working capital cycle like that. All these things they have to verify. And the cash flow, monthly cash flows, quarterly cash flow statement, annual cash flows, sources of funds, uses of funds of the company, and the projected liquidity. All this information to be provided by the company to their bankers for a restructuring of loans. Then only the banks will consider the restructuring of loans. Otherwise, how they will restructure? Because of most of the restructure is depending on financial position of the company. Whether it is a base resolution plan or general restructuring of loan, the particularly financials are very, very important. Once the financials are good, in the coming days, even after restructuring or even after approving the base resolution plan, if the company is still generating profit, then only the banks will do the restructure, then only the particular financial creditor will accept with 66% for the particular resolution plan or base resolution plan or modified resolution plan like that. And projected liquidity. Liquidity is very important. Why? Because once the company liquidity is there, then they can pay the debt, the installments or wages or whatever the raw materials, all these things. Sir, any points to be discussed? Sir, madam, any points to be discussed? So, along with the restructure proposal, these statements are to be attached. Then only the bankers will verify and do the restructuring. They will do or they will complete the restructuring and they will assess whether it is a restructuring scope is there to the company or not. If these statements, these information, these documents are not submitted, no bank, they are not agreed for restructuring. In the similar manner, the base resolution plans. So 80% of the common is there. In addition to that, some more information is also to be provided by the corporate data to accept the resolution plan by the financial creditors. So the financial creditors are well versed in this area. So that's why this is important. Any doubts, sir? Any clarification is required? Sir, madam, any clarification is required? How do you understand my points?
Yes, sir.
Because once the default is happening, the borrower will approach the bank for restructure to avoid the particularly IBC or etc. But in the similar manner, the PPIRP proposal also like this. Tomorrow, once I discuss the base resolution plan, you may astonish. This much knowledge is required to prepare the base resolution. You will astonish. That much information is required to prepare the base resolution. Preparation for base resolution plan is not simple. And you have to give the support to the corporate data to prepare the base resolution plan. Okay. In the same proposal, for which you are going to submit the restructuring proposal to the bank for their consideration, you have to provide principal overdue. How much loan is due to the bank? How much interest you are due to the bank? How much number of days overdue to the bank? Special mentioned account classification. Whether your account is a SMA 0 or SMA 1 or SMA 2, that is special mentioned account 0 up to 30 years, 30 days. Special mentioned 1, 32, the below 30, above 32, below 60, 60 to 90, special mention account. You have to mention. Not only that one, NPA classification. Your account, whether your account is substandard or doubtful asset or 1 year or 2 year or 3 years like that. Willful default status. Willful default status. So you have to submit whether you are a default to the various bank loans availed earlier. For that, Reserve Bank of India willful defaulters list is also there. Whether your name is displayed there or not, that also you have to submit. Fraud status. If at all any frauds are happened in the company, that also you have to submit to the bank. And the security details. Once you require restructuring plan or restructuring of your existing loan, primary security. How much stocks are there? How much receivables are there? How much machinery? The value, the vehicle's value, the plant, all this, the primary security and the additional security also you have to provide to the banker. Then only the banker simply not restructure. And whether additional security is available or not, that also they will verify. Collateral security. How much land? What is its value? How many buildings are there? What is its value? Residential properties, how much it value? Commercial properties of the company is there, how much its value? If the company is deposited with some banks, how much deposits are made with the concerned banks? What is the present amount with interest and shares? If the company is invested in other companies, how many shares? What is the present market value? Mutual funds, some of the company mutual funds are also invested. What is the net asset value of the company? All these things they have to verify. Valuation report. Whenever the banks are giving the loan or restructuring, they will ask the latest valuation report of the particularly land or buildings or plant and machinery or business security valuation like that. The latest valuation report from approved values and including fair market value, distress value, or realizable value. In our valuation, that is a different, this is a different fair market value or the distressed value or realizable value. For all securities, that is also valuation report is required. Not only that one, legal documents. You have to submit the Xerox copies along with your proposal, title deeds of the collateral security, title deeds of the land, title deeds of the building, so that bank will send the Xerox copies to the legal apparel advocate. And once that is completed, they will take the original and create the equitable mortgage or registered mortgage of document. charge creation. They will verify with ROC under Section 77 of Companies Act what type of charges are created, how many banks are created, on which assets of the company. ROC forms, legal opinion on certain assets, search report. They will verify whether the company assets are registered or creation of charge by the bankers or not, and the encumbrance certificate. Once the company is going to give any security for the additional amounts under restructuring, then the EC for 13 years are also to be obtained. Next, insurance details. Along with the restructure proposal, you have to submit insurance policies for plant against the fire and building, that insurance policy. If at all earthquake and the floods are happening, if the building collapsed, then next sum insured or the validity period, whether it is expired or still in life, and the risks covered, whether it is covered only the earthquake or if at all the building fallen on account of the heavy floods, then insurance will not cover. So you have to verify the validity, risk covered, what type of risk covered on all these things. Statutory compliance, whether the company is regularly filing GST or not, whether the company is filing the yearly income tax return or not, whether the company is TDS received from the various vendors and other things filed with the income tax every month, next following month, first week or not, and whether the company is submitting provident fund, PF means provident fund, to the employees provident fund organization, whether the company is recovering ESI, employees state insurance or not, whether the company is recovering professional tax from the employees or officers and remitted the same to the appropriate authority or not, customs duty, whether the company is paying customs duty on account of imported raw materials like that, and the excise duty if applicable, and a labor code. Today, the labor code implementation is also there. If at all the labor code implementation is not there, definitely some penalties will attract. So, whether the company is fulfilling the labor code guidelines, once all these things are verified by the bankers, then only, if all are good, then only they will do the restructuring. Simply restructuring is not on certain areas. It covers the gamut of the total areas of the company. Litigations. If at all any litigations against the company is there, that also to be informed to the bankers while doing this particular this one, arbitration cases. If at all arbitration cases are there, that is to be handled. NCLT proceedings. If NCLT proceedings are there, then that also verified. DRT cases to be verified, and income tax disputes to be verified by the particular bankers or GST. If NCLT proceedings of another operational creditor are filed or another bank is filed, that also, if another bank given loan and defaulted, DRT cases and environmental cases. Suppose the company, if at all the company is creating problem, the air, the water, the other issues, then the environmental issues will come. For that also, the company has to submit the information from the pollution control board, operational information. Then you have to provide about the company. What is the installed capacity of the plant and machinery? What is the capacity realization? If a company plant and machinery per day 1 lakh units means if the company is using 10,000, 90,000, they are not using. Production. What is the present production capacity? How much sales for the last 3 years and projected 5 years? And out of total sales, what is the export sales? What is the domestic sales? Who is the major customers and the major suppliers of raw material? All these information, if you provide, the same is reflected in TEV report also. TEV report also based on this. So once you practice the TEV report, it helps restructuring. It helps to preparation of a base resolution plan. And once a TEV report is prepared, then automatically you will get professional fees for consultancy. And a TEV report is useful for the PPIRP also. Not only that one, practice a CMP, the credit monitoring arrangement, CMA data. That is also useful to the bank for restructuring as well as for PPIRP also. So all these things, if at all you are familiarized, then it is very easy to manage the company. Otherwise, we are in dark means some of the people, they will take a chance the weaknesses of the people. Installed capacity utilization, how much production they are manufacturing, how much sales they are doing, how much out of total sales, how much are export sales, how much are domestic sales, who are the major customers, who are the major suppliers. All these things are to be provided to the bankers as well as financial institutions in case of the debt restructuring. And in the similar manner, for preparation of a base resolution plan also, this information is very much required. Next one is market analysis, industry outlook. Whether once all this information is there, then after manufacturing, after restructuring, if the company is manufacturing and wish to sell the goods, no demand is there. What is the purpose of all these things? So the market analysis also they will observe whether industry outlook is there or not. How many competitors are there to manufacture these goods? And SWOT analysis of the company. What are the strengths of the company? What are the weaknesses of the company? What are the opportunities of the company? What are the threats of the company? All these things. Not only that one, market share. Present market share of the company, how much? If at all market share is very low, or the company products are not purchasing, there is no fun in doing the restructuring. In the similar manner, the base resolution plan also, the financial creditor, they will look into. Here, the restructuring plan will be verified by the financial creditor. The base resolution plan is also verified by the particular financial creditor. Both are verified by the financial creditor. And demand projections. How much demand for the product is there? The market federations, Chamber of Commerce, Confederation of Indian Industry, they will do the research work and what is that particular demand for the product or not. And a business revival plan. And once all the information provided, how the company is going to revive the company, revival of the company, strategies for revival, whether they are going to reduce the cost or they are going to enhance the revenue, all these things. Not only that one, whether they are going to the moving towards the new markets or not, and the product diversification, whether they are going to introduce a number of products or not, digital transformation, whether they are going to do some technology production at a production level or different functions, whether they are going to implement the technology. Once the technology is used, how much cost reduction, how much sales will increase, and operational efficiencies, etc., etc. Now, I told about the technical economic viability report also to be submitted by the borrower. Any doubts, sir?
No, but my view is with this type of information we are providing because like I stay in Faridabad, it is an industrial town.
Okay, sir.
And most of the companies are either proprietorship firm and partnership firms,
Okay.
which are registered with MSME department as a Udyam. They've got
Okay.
Udyam registration and everything is available.
Okay.
But when you talk to the bankers about the our process of insolvency,
Hmm.
nobody is interested. They say that we have got sufficient security. We won't go for all this thing.
Hmm.
And they declare the account NPA and put the property on the auction very same day, next day, or whatever time period they feel it.
Hmm.
So the information and the details which you have discussed, we can provide. That is no issue. But at the
Hmm.
same time, banks should also come forward and they should have a policy in place
Hmm.
for this type of our insolvency process,
Correct.
prepaid insolvency, because no banks have got this type of facility available in their regional offices or stress account cell or other places.
Hmm.
So how do you foresee that with, because the volume is very high and information required is very high,
Hmm.
and the industries are very specific.
Hmm.
You don't get any other buyer for those particular type of industry.
Correct.
So ultimately, bank has to go with the same promoter.
Correct.
So they say that when there is no other person available, why we should go for all this process? We'll
Hmm.
auction the property and we'll realize our money. We have got sufficient coverage.
Hmm.
Minimum 50% coverage is available. 100%, 200% is also there.
Hmm.
So what is your take on this? Because I
Uh,
have tried many cases in Faridabad, but
uh,
nothing is moving.
correct. Sir, one thing, sir. How many assets banks are selling through liquidation as well as surfacing? Even though you are telling that a 200%, 300% security is there, why not remove all these particular financial analysis, technical, and all these things? If it and all these things are removed, it is as good as banks are financing on only the collateral. It is as good as a gold loan. It is as
Yeah,
good as
yeah, I agree. It is a gold loan only. It is not a project finance.
gold, the gold the borrower is giving to the bank, it is a pledge, but the borrower is giving the documents of the security, 300% or 400% coverage of the loan. Actually,
Yeah,
that is not correct. This is actually whatever I am giving macro view,
yeah,
but
I agree.
on a real implementation, all these things may be required, may not be required.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's why whenever we are talking about, suppose take for example, most of the RPs, resolution professions, they are getting the cases where no assets are there, or if the company is there, less assets are there, and if a company is there, the company wheels are not moving, no electricity connection, disconnection, and only security staff is available. But why the lectures or online lectures, value maximization, going concern means, sir, whatever the cases I'm going to handle, no assets are there, where assets where it is available, that is also a big question for me. Why you are telling all these things means that is not correct. Because sometimes we may come across the companies, live companies also. For that,
Yeah, that is-
like that, sir, here you are perfectly correct. Why perfectly correct means most of the bankers, they're always whether that borrower is giving 400% collateral or if at all bank is giving 10 crores, 40 crores collateral is there or not, then they're not looking into all these things. In that case, all these things are there in the project finance. Any loan, particularly if the loan component is more than 5 crores, all these things are coming to the picture. And in that case, if at all I am not following, what is the purpose of a balance sheet? What is the purpose of a trading account? What is the purpose of a profit and loss account? What is the purpose of a current ratio or a liquidity ratio or a debt equity ratio? All these things are not required. If at all they are always thinking on collateral, what is the purpose of preparing the financial statement?
I agree.
So here, sir, in the coming days, my personal opinion also, definitely. Suppose I take, for example, our base resolution plan. Whether that base resolution plan is good or not, how the financial criteria will assess. Sir, next 6 months, I will reduce the cost, I will increase the revenue, and I will reduce the manpower. I will decrease the raw material cost by purchasing through tender system. And the present last 3 years loss is now I am going to get the profit based on these parameters. If at all you justify or satisfy the financial criteria, then only they will give. Then only they will accept that base resolution plan. Otherwise, how they will give? They will accept.
So they need a specialist team who can monitor the accounts. Then
Correct.
only it is possible because every data is available with them. Most of the companies are dealing for last 40 years, 50 years with the
Hmm.
same bank.
Hmm.
And suddenly they say that you are an NPA and we are selling your assets and putting all type of pressure on the promoter. And promoter has no rescue, no chance.
Sorry, today the promoter is focusing on marketing as well as manufacturing. Marketing and manufacturing. Marketing and manufacturing. Through manufacturing and marketing, whether I am getting surplus or not, he is looking that one only. Remaining GST returns, all these things are taken care of by the financial manager or accountant or financial expert or chartered accountant like that. So that's it. Sorry. The problems are arising. Today, even once the companies under CIRP, most of the corporate debtors, they don't know about the IBC. What is
And
going? They are in dark. What is going on? Are my company is not under my control, and I am not having check power. And whatever the assets of the company is there, they are telling that assets belong to now the under the custody of committee of creditors. Sir, fraud actually, while giving the loan, banks are following this one. Today, the private sector banks like ICICI, HDFC, what they are doing, what is the property? Okay, prime property. What is the value? 40 crores. How much a loan is required? 10 crores. Okay, boss, 400 crores. I don't require sales rate turnover current ratio. Mr. Prasad is telling kachada, kachada, kachada. And that kachada, simply 40 crores are there, 10 crores. fully secured. Simply they are giving. They are not following the sales returns, whether monthly EMIs are paying by the promoter or not, they are verifying.
They are not concerned.
But Reserve Bank or banking credit policy or banking systems and procedures, all these things are there.
Yeah.
But is simply they are some figure, some black and white they are doing and they are completing. But in the real picture, if at all this type of a situation arises, base resolution plan, this is very difficult.
Yes, sir. It's very difficult.
Projected financial statement. Next 5 to 10 years. The balance sheet, profit and cash flow, funds flow, working capital. Simply they are entering the figures, drag horizontally, vertically, horizontally, vertically. And Excel sheet, they are putting some figure, 10% growth, 5%
Yes.
growth, drag horizontally, vertically, that completed. Whether it is one company, sir, in Visakhapatnam, TMT steels.
Yeah.
They are manufacturing TMT steels. Immediately, the particular person taken a loan of 40 crores. Then the projections the next 5 years. First year, they have given some sales figure. Next year, 50%. Second year, 100%. After that, 150% growth like that. Then I asked, boss, this next year 50, after that 100, after that 150, how you are estimated that the growth level means? No, sir, he is politically background, sir. Whatever he manufactures, people will try. Correct, boss. Correct. The plant capacity is 100 units. But 150% growth means 150% plant capacity is not there. How you project that one? Or to the 150% or 200%. Plant capacity is not there. Second one,
No.
the TMT steels, the industrial growth, the Confederation of Industry, every year 5 to 6% growth rate is there. But next year 50, after that 150, after that 200, simply you are filling up the cells in the Excel. Then he told, he is laughing. The unit turn into non-performing. Because of whatever on projections only banks are giving loans. And the particular person, he has taken TMT steel working capital loan and he diverted the funds in real estate and incurred loss. Now the account turned into non-performing asset and now NCLT cases.
Yes.
Assumptions.
Yes, same thing is happening. But tell me one thing, sir. When an account is declared NPA and promoter is willing to reorganize everything, can he use pre-packaged insolvency also? Because
Tell me, sir, once again.
one of my clients, similar TMT Saria is manufacturing, and his account became NPA. He said bank to he discussed with the bank and told them that I am willing to continue and I will repay in some installments. You give me time. Bank is instead of giving time, they've declared him NPA. Now whether we can go for pre-packaged insolvency for him?
Sir, pre-packaged insolvency resolution process is for that purpose only.
But bank say that your security is 50 crores, my loan is 22 crore. Why should I go for all this thing?
No, sir. That's why the demand is not made by the corporate data to the bankers. Bankers are also keep quiet. Corporate borrowers are also not aware. Nobody is asking to the bankers. If at all they started asking, then bankers will also one or two proposals they will reject. After that, if the federation or the MSME associations they escalate the issue to the IBPA or Minister of MSME or the Reserve Bank or the concerned bank, definitely that will happen. But here,
It will take time.
nobody is escalating. Corporate data is in dark. How the number of cases will increase in PPIRP? Most of the PPIRP cases are now filed under CARP. Once that product is there, why they are using this product?
But tell me one thing, bank has gone in NCLT also against that borrower. Whether we can take this plea that we wanted pre-package insolvency and instead of doing this, bank has gone for CIRP and all these things.
In that case, before admitting the case,
No, before admitting, it is still
Ah.
under the.
in the case,
this-
if the counter is filed by the particular corporate data, sir, I'm clean slate, but on account of calamity or some problem, the unit turn into non-performing. Now the government of India given benefit to SME, MSME for pay package in insolvency. Bankers are also not accepting. In that case, what is the purpose of that product?
Hmm.
Why they have introduced?
Yeah,
For
yeah, that is true.
they have introduced, you know about the regulation, you know about the rules, you know about the code where it is, all these things. And in the once people are not utilizing that product, why the government passed some the in parliament also this is the changes are made by the parliamentarians and now the code is there and regulations are there. If nobody is using means that is a fault lies with the communication system and the corporate data.
Yeah.
The corporate data they have to fight. Even no need of corporate data. Even MSME minister also. Once I have
He
introduced.
could,
Once the MSME ministry, they escalated the issue and passed some the amendments are made in the code and they framed a PPIRP. People are not using means it is a fault with the people, not the system.
hmm.
You explain the assumptions regarding, particularly assumptions are also. Why the sales growth you are mentioning like that? Why selling prices are mentioned that much? Why not low cost? Why raw material or employee cost or inflation or interest rates or exchange or capacity utilization? While preparing the projections for next year, how you are preparing all these things? Working capital. Working capital is an operating cycle, how it is moving, inventory control holding, receivables period, creditors period, maximum permissible bank finance cash budget. So that's why here, as I told earlier, the same I am repeating. People are thinking that IBC is a law. By to my knowledge is concerned, it is a blending of law and management.
Yeah.
The law is only 30%. Because you are handling the business organizations, sir, not criminal cases like that. One running company, going concern, value maximization, all concepts are related to financial management or marketing or production management like that. Okay, code 252. Even I can purchase one IBC code and refer the codes or regulations. Every time the IBPI is preparing that regulation, whenever changes are there, it is a stereo. Sir, one thing I am asking to you, sir.
Yes,
Do
sir.
we need skills for public announcement, sir?
Sorry?
No, not required. Do we require to identify the valuer for valuation? No. Do
Certainly,
we
sir.
Do we require any skills for identifying a transaction auditor? No. Do you require any skills for expression of interest for inviting a prospect resolution applicant? No. Do we require any skills for request for resolution plan? No. Do we require any additional skills that are required to assess the prospective resolution applicant or resolution plans? That is required. That is required. Beyond all these things, all are stereotype process. CARP is a stereotype process. Some legal issues will arise for that 30%. Remaining 70%, how to run the company, how to handle the production manager or marketing manager, etc. Once, even though IBC told going concern means for what purpose going concern? Value maximization. Once you
Mm.
company, 100 plus company, you are starting and functioning the company, thereby losses are coming, thereby 100 crores reduced to 90, 90 to 80, 6 months, after 6 months it become 60 crores. Is it going concern is good for the stakeholders? No.
No.
Instead of that, day one, you take the decision, liquidation. The day one, the committee of creditors or resolution of professionals simply see another 180 days, 6 months, or extension 90 days, 9 months, or another 30 days, total 1 year lapsing on CAR. For that only, even though some of the people, they may not like this class, it is purely a financial. But this is required. That's why in other countries, lot of respect is there for the resolution profession. Here, tell me, how many people are knows about the operating cycle? Once you are occupying the seat, you have to assess properly whether the company is a CIRP. Why we are wasting the time for 6 months if the company incurs further? Sir, tell me one thing. Before you were occupying the seat, the existing management run the company, whether they got the profit, sir? No. Once they got the profit, the situation will not arise. All these things are to be verified. So that's why the restructuring proposal clearly specifies the relief sought. How much working capital investment or reduction or conversion of working capital, additional loans or term loans, extension of repayment or moratorium, reduction of installment and balloon repayment or interest reduction. All these things are there in the restructuring proposal. And the promoter's contribution in the restructuring also, he has to brought some amount, not a purely bank amount, and some additional sources of funds through equity or venture capital or PE investors or sensitivity analysis. How many of you the people sensitivity analysis knows? Once you have submitted the resolution plan, that may happen, may not happen. Suppose he mentioned raw material X price. For the next 5 years, X price will not be there. 10% growth may be there. Like that revenue, it may fall in also. So the best, the normal, the worst case also, you have to evaluate the resolution plans, whether it is a profitable cash flows and debt service, risk assessment. Once you are continuing for next 5 years, next 5 years, how many companies are entering into the market? whether the analysis is correct or not, my projections are correct or not, all these things. Monitoring mechanism, how the particular the once restructuring was given by the bank, how to monitor whether the desired results are coming or not, monthly or quarterly, or that is a monitoring mechanism. Certificates, statutory audit or chartered accountant or company secretary, or wherever applicable. Board resolutions, restructuring, authorization, signing document, authorization. Once the board is also to be taken into consideration while restructuring the advance. What is their opinion? And the regulatory filing. Once a restructuring is happening, you have to file with ROC or Ministry of Corporate Affairs, annual returns, etc., etc. Declarations are also to be given. Whatever the information submitted by the company to the bankers for restructuring, all our material facts are to be certified. Otherwise, to get the restructuring, they are giving bubble figures. At any time, bubble figures will burst. Annexers also, these annexers, they have to enclose with the restructuring proposal, like audited financial statement, provisional bank statement, GST returns, all these things. And once this is there, then only the restructuring proposal will happen. Hence, a restructuring proposal should be comprehensive, transparent, evidence-based, and future-oriented. It clearly demonstrated the borrower's financial strength is a temporary, redeemable, and underlying the proposal. Sir, today also the bank loans failure remains on account of what you told the Faridabad. Simply, they are not verifying the financials; they are verifying only the collaterals. There is no difference between the business loan and the gold loan. The well-prepared submission supported audited financial statement, realistic projections, and all these things are required. This is in brief about today's discussion, sir. Tomorrow I will discuss about the particularly the base resolution plan, how to prepare the base resolution plan under PPIRP. But my suggestion is equip the knowledge in the financial system also. Thank you very much and good night to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Wonderful.